Welcome back to Boots and Bounty Homestead here in Casey's kitchen, and I'm bringing you another recipe with an overflow of these tomatoes. We are going to be making roasted tomato, black bean, and corn salsa, just like the one you can buy in the store. We're going to make it with our homegrown products. So first of all, we're going to start out with 10 large red tomatoes, and we're going to core them, roughly chop them up into bite-sized pieces, and also the peppers and the onions. And you need about two bell peppers and one jalapeno, and you can take the seeds out. If you like it spicier, you can leave the seeds in. So we're going to chop up 10 large tomatoes, 1 large onion, and then 2 bell peppers and 1 jalapeno, and put on a cookie sheet. Now, in the meantime, go ahead and preheat your oven for 400 degrees. And what we're going to do is we're going to slow roast these tomatoes, peppers, and onion for about 30 minutes. And that's going to allow all of the flavors and juices to become roasted and to be drawn out of them. And so that way we can start making the salsa as soon as those are done, and it can be more flavorful. So let's go ahead and get everything chopped up and on the cookie sheet, and then we'll put them in the oven. Okay, we've got them all cut up and spread out on the cookie sheet. And this is an extra large one, so if you have to use 2 of them, that'll be fine too. So we're going to go ahead and slide them in the oven and let them roast for 30 minutes. Okay, so we're going to let these cool off just a little bit, enough to be able to handle them. And we've got to put these in like I'm going to do like a blender and do like a rough chop. And you can either put these in a food processor or, you know, something just to kind of chop them up and blend them up a little bit more. But not purify them, you know. You don't want them pureed or anything. We just want to chop them up a little bit more and get the juices rolling. If you've got a lot of juice on your pan, drain it out once it gets cool enough to handle. I don't really have a whole lot, maybe a couple of tablespoons. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that stay on there, and just let these cool off for a few minutes, and then I'll show you blending them up. You guys know that I don't have a food processor, so I'm gonna use the blender and just like pulse it to kind of chop it up. And doesn't matter what goes in, when, or you know, together, because it's all going into the same pot anyways. So I'm just going to scoop it in. Alright, let's see how this does. Okay, well that didn't take but a couple times. Yeah. And we're going to leave it a little chunky. See if I can show you what it looks like. See, it's smooth, but it does still have some chunks in it. Alright. And we need to pour this in a bowl, because we've got to do one more step in the big pot with the other ingredients before we can mix it all together.
Perfect one.
Alright. So we'll pour this in here. And be careful, because this is hot now. Alright. So I'm going to do this in 3 small batches. Splash it on you. You want to hold it, you're going to get in the hit zone.
I want to hold it. I just don't want to get hit.
Alright, last little bit.
Try not to do it with the other one.
And that extra juice did stay in the pan pretty well.
Okay.
No.
No.
Alright, last pulse.
Are you done?
Okay. Alright, let's set this to the back real quick and we'll do the next step. So the next step we have here, it's going to be to lightly fry the corn. We need 1 cup of corn, and you can double or triple this recipe as you see fit, and as you have the room for. So we have, I'm going to do 1 can, that's about 1.5 cups. And all of these ingredients you can use per your taste. If you like more black beans, you can put more black beans. If you want more corn, you can put more corn. You get it. So with this, we need to lightly fry it to get some of the liquid to start coming out of the corn. And make sure, because there's no oil or anything in the bottom of this, go ahead and just make sure that you have something pretty sturdy to stir it around so it doesn't stick because of the starch, and that it doesn't burn. Alright, we've got these fried up, and we got a little bit of water coming out of them. So we're going to turn this off, and then just let it cool off, and then we're going to add the next ingredients. Alright, so here is a 1/4 cup of vinegar. And then it says 8 garlic cloves. So I'm going to do about 6 teaspoons.
You're going to drain anything?
Please, and rinse them off. And then you need 1 can of black beans, and Stephen is rinsing them off and draining them for me. And then lemon juice. It's 1 juice of a lime. So we're going to do about 1 teaspoon. Right, and then in goes the black beans. One teaspoon salt. And 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Now if you want more, you can put more in it. Stir it up. Alright, so got all this mixed up, stirred up, looks good. We're going to add in our tomato mixture that we roasted. Put it in. And then we are going to heat this back up to let it get all the flavors married back together. Mix it up real good. And then we're going to heat it back up. In the meantime, go ahead and get your jars ready. And they need to stay hot because this is hot mixture going into hot jars. And we need to water bath it. So you can be getting a pot ready to warm up your water to boiling. Alright, once it gets all good and heated up, you can let it cook probably 10-15 minutes just to get all the flavors married together. And then we are going to scoop it into hot jars. You can put it in whatever size jar you want, but I figure a pint would be sufficient enough for us. So we're going to go up to 1-inch headspace. There you go. The recipe says it makes 4 pints, so we're going to find out. And now if whenever you get it hot, if it is still too liquidy for you, for your taste, for what you're looking for, go ahead and cook it a little bit longer. It's not going to hurt anything by no means. And it'll cook some of that extra liquid off. We're going to have more than 4 pints. We're going to have a little extra we're going to eat on. Alright, we're going to put lids and rings on here. Make sure that if you have anything on your jar rims that you want to wipe them off with a wet washcloth. Some people say vinegar. It's your preference. And put your rings on. Finger tight. And then water bath your pints for 10 minutes and your quarts for 15. If you have half pints, just go ahead and do them for 10, just, you know, just to be safe. So we've got extra right here that I'm going to put in a container and we're going to eat on this week. Alright guys, whoop, here's a pretty jar of our tomato. It's roasted tomato peppers, black bean and corn salsa, just like you buy in the store. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Come back for another recipe pretty soon. I'll be cooking in the kitchen again. We will see you next time, guys. Bye.